Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Champions Academy. My name is Mr. Blake, and I'll be your child's advisory teacher for trimesters 2 and trimesters 3 of the school year. I look forward to meeting them, and I can't wait to get started on Wednesday. For today, we're just going to go through some slides with information, going to do a quick introduction about myself, and then we're going to look at just an overview of Champions Academy and Edgenuity, as well as give you some information about the daily and weekly schedules and some possible schedules for your children to kind of set up for themselves, and then also about contact information, whether it's through email or through a Zoom call. First, just a little bit about myself. My name's Jacob Blake. On the slide, I put Mr. Jacob Blake because my wife, her name is Jamie Blake, and sometimes with the emails, it gets a little confusing. But I wanted to make sure I took a chance to introduce myself a little bit. I love working with sixth grade students. When I saw that I was assigned to sixth grade for Champions, I was really excited. This is my 16th year teaching. And I actually have 10 years of teaching experience with sixth grade math and science, 1 year in Long Beach and 9 years at Cooley Middle School. I taught for 2 years in fourth grade in our district at Stone Ridge Elementary, and this is my 4th year at Chilton. And at Chilton, previously I taught math and science, but I also taught engineering and robotics through Project Lead the Way. I'm originally from Southern California, and just something that I absolutely love doing is just being active and exercising. Right here in this video, this is a special introduction to my students, just being silly and having a good time, but you're more than welcome to watch that at your leisure. So, a little bit about my family. Like I was saying before, my wife, her name is Jamie, and she's a teacher at Cooley Middle School, and she's also teaching in the Champions Academy. I have 2 kids, Bella, who's 17, senior at Oakmont, and my son, Jaden, is 8 years old. He's in 3rd grade at Orchard Ranch. And of course, we have 1 cat. Not of course, but we do have 1 cat, and his name is Maui. He's 7 months old, so just a couple of pictures. All right, so I wanted to make sure that you are aware of this next slide. This presentation is going to be shared with you as a PDF, and this slide here has a live link to an introduction and overview of Champions Academy. This introduction is given by our director, Carrie Vincent. So it has a little more information about Champions in general. Each day, we're going to be meeting Monday through Friday in a Zoom meeting. We're calling it the morning huddle. I like to use analogies and themes, so giving us a team theme, a sports theme goes well with Champions. And during this time, we're going to be doing Second Step. It's like a socio-emotional curriculum. We'll also be doing community building activities. We'll be having social interaction. We'll be working in groups, and this is just a fun time for support socialization. Okay, the link for the morning huddle is here attached to this presentation, but I'll show you where else you can access it. Students will be accessing it through Clever as well. Next, one thing that I'm adding is 1 weekly meeting for students in small groups. So when you see the schedule, I'll point out when those small group times are, but until the schedule is made, until I have input from the students, we won't have a set schedule for that. So stay tuned, but each student will be a part of a small group of 4 to 5 students, and we'll be just meeting once a week in those small groups. It's a great time to give support, set goals, and it's just a little more personal. Instead of doing breakout rooms where I'm bouncing around and students are switching, our small groups are going to be set for the most part for the school year, or at least the trimester. Okay? Next, this video here, if you were to actually click on this thumbnail, is an overview of Edgenuity. Some key points from the video are listed below, and the video is also linked here in red. And when you click on it, it's going to give you just a little more information about how Edgenuity works. And I'm actually really excited that the students are going to get this experience, being able to work through the curriculum at their own pace and be able to receive support in so many different ways as they are working through it. Here is my daily schedule, okay? And my daily schedule is also attached to this email that I sent. A couple of things I just wanted to point out briefly instead of going through everything is that the morning huddle will take place at 9 o'clock daily, okay? And for that morning huddle, I expect all students to be there with their cameras on and ready to participate. Also, from 9:45 until about 10:15, that's when we'll have those, those short, small group student team meetings. Okay, and as you can see, the letters represent different teams, so every team does not meet every day. It will just be once a week. Okay, office hours you'll see there in orange. Those orange office hours are a chance for students to just pop in. Okay, you can just pop in, and if you're having trouble with something or if you need some support, you can just pop in. No appointment necessary. Okay. And in purple, you'll see the parent office hours. That's a chance on Fridays for parents to schedule a time. For some reason, if we can't handle it through email, this is your chance to, we'll set up a Zoom. And for that one, there is a link that you will go to Sign Up Genius, and I'll show you where to find that link shortly. Okay. Next, we have those yellow tiles and those yellow boxes. They represent times where students will need to take summative assessments. In Edgenuity, once you get to a certain point and work through a certain number of lessons, it will ask you to take a summative assessment or a test. And during those tests, it's important that you are logged into a Zoom with your advisory teacher, me, or with another advisory teacher that will have different time slots. I'll be sure to share those additional time slots with you once we get rolling after the first week of the trimester. And then finally, I have some time set aside for individual student support. And those meetings, in most cases, will be requested by me. When I'm tracking your progress, I notice that you're kind of falling behind and might need a little bit of help. Those will be times where I'm helping you and your classmates, get moving a little bit. So those are some of the different time slots, and there is a little more of an in-depth explanation of each of those time slots with the other links for them, attached to this presentation, but you can see a little more of a description there as well as the link for the Sign Up Genius for parent office hours. Okay, so moving along, I wanted to share a few sample student schedules. I'm not going to go through them in great detail, but I wanted to make sure that you see them so that you can set up yourself for success. Everyone's different, and with Edgenuity and with my schedule, you only have to be in Zoom meetings with me at certain times. So the rest of your day is going to be planned in an organized way so that you have about 45 minutes to an hour to work in each subject. The schedules that I'm going to share are going to show you how you can possibly do this in a regular school day from 9 o'clock to 3:15 and be finished. But I do realize that things come up, appointments and so forth. So sometimes you might not finish at 3:15. Maybe you got to get a little work done after dinner, or maybe you got to get a little work done after practice. So just know that this is all flexible. These are all suggestions just to kind of help you out. So this would be a sample schedule if you want to take a 30-minute lunch with a couple of breaks, a break in the morning and a break in the afternoon, and how you could still possibly get enough time for all of your classes before 3:15. Here's another one. This is where you take a long lunch, a full hour for your lunch, and you take it a little bit earlier in the day at 11:30. And the final sample schedule that I'm showing shows a late lunch option. Instead of 11:30, you take your lunch at 12:30, and you still have enough time to get that morning huddle in with us, and then you're going into your other classes. Just know that as you're going in and setting aside those time for classes, sometimes you're going to pop into office hours, and some days it's really not going to take 45 minutes to an hour for your classes, so you'll have a little bit of extra time as well. And just keep in mind, these are all just suggestions, those 3 sample schedules. Some of you might be waiting for your parents to get home. Edgenuity is very flexible, and your schedule should be flexible as well. So don't think that you have to stick to it to the T. All right, here is a brief description of what our first day of school is going to look like. All right, our first day of school is November 4th. That is Wednesday. I put the Zoom link on here, but just keep in mind it's also in Clever. And for that first day of school, you're only going to have access to one of your courses. It's just going to be your elective course. We're going to be doing team building. We're going to be doing some activities. You're going to be filling out some forms in our Zoom meeting. But one of the goals we're also going to have is to create a schedule, something that you can, stay close to sticking to. And then, of course, organizing your supplies and workspace. For days 2 through 4 of school, we're going to be adding on courses as we go. So on that Thursday, we're going to add on your English Language Arts course so that you can start your coursework in that. And then on that Friday, November 6th, we're going to add on your math class, okay? And then on November 9th, we're going to add on your social studies and science classes. So on that Monday, November 9th, you will have access to all of your classes, and you'll be expected to complete the scheduled lessons each day on those classes. But we're just going to be starting with one class, so we're going to ease into it. On Thursday, there'll be 2 classes, and it will be a gradual build until Monday. This slide here is going to go through some steps for assessment procedures. I know some of you, when you saw that slide change over and saw all that text, whoo, that is a doozy. I'm not going to go through all of it. This is mainly for reference, but these are the steps that you need to take when you are ready to take a summative assessment. Okay, we'll be practicing this and talking about it in class. Also need to know about grading. It's going to be based on mastery of content. Your grades are going to be based on, not just your testing, but it's also going to be writing proficiency. When we start into those lessons and you start seeing quizzes and you start seeing these percentages pop up, I'll be sure to explain what those mean, okay? But your grades are going to be a little bit closer to traditional grades, like your parents and I experienced growing up. They will be attached to percentages, and we'll be sure to let you know how those percentages will translate to either a letter grade or a grading description. All right. So when you access Edgenuity, it's important that you realize that you go through Clever to get to it. You'll also be receiving the links to the morning huddle, office hours. All of those links are also in Clever. Okay. When you're in Clever, you'll see that I've added my course to your Clever, so you can see my page and you'll see all the links associated with it. Okay. There's also a dashboard for parents. There's a link here that's live. It'll take you to the Family Center for Edgenuity. It's going to give you resources, videos, ideas for how to support your student, and then also some information on the content and standards. And also, it's important that we are communicating. As your advisory teacher, I prefer for you to email me first. And if we're noticing that the emails are going back and forth, or we need a little more time or information together, what we will do is we'll set up for parent office hours. They're going to be Fridays from 1 o'clock to 1:30, and this link right here is live. And if you click it, it'll take you to the Sign Up Genius, and you could sign up for a 10-minute time slot. Okay, and then also just realize you're still a Chilton Bobcat, okay? And the school's front office, you want to make sure that you're reaching out if you have issues with your Chromebook or need a Chromebook, anything about materials, school activities, or communication. And if school activities do resume later in the year and there is sports, and that is something you want to participate in, I will be the one to kind of keep you updated with that, but you should still also be receiving all communication from the Chilton front office. Okay, I know that's a little bit long, but everything that I showed you will be attached as a PDF. All the links are live. I am so excited that I get to work with you the rest of this school year, and I look forward to hearing from you. And please don't hesitate to reach out. And it's going to be an awesome trimester 2 and 3. And once again, I'm Mr. Blake. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day, and you guys are champions.